Hey, what's up? You guys have stopped by this video because you're intrigued to buy a Kangen machine. You've been doing your research, but one thing that you're probably balking at, you're kind of just stuck in your tracks, is the price, justifying why you should invest $4,000, $5,000 into this great medical device technology. And in this video, Eric and I want to make it simple for you why we personally invested in it, and also break down some examples of just like a comparison of why, you investing in this machine is almost, it's really nothing because it's what you spend your money on. So Eric, if you want to kind of start and talk about why you think it's worth the investment.
Yeah, I mean, first, like you said, the first thing I want to touch on is the comparisons. It's kind of like, for me, when I first heard about that, I heard about Kangen Water, man, like 4 or 5 years ago, and then it wasn't until 2 years ago when I made the investment or the purchase, and it wasn't until someone shared me a different perspective. And with life and different things, for us to understand, we kind of got to have an open mind and different perspective of some things. And so I'll just share, before I share some comparisons, so I can help you, maybe some different things I was shared with me on how I changed my perspective to make this a logical purchase to make on a money side of things. Was I was spending, I was told, like, I was asked, how much money are you spending each month on bottled water? And for me, and like many of you, I thought Essentia bottled water or these alkaline bottled waters that are more expensive were the thing that I was supposed to be drinking. That was the best option for me, and I was spending $3, $4, $5 a day on these bottles of water. And so I looked at it and I was just like, all right, how much money am I going to spend on this bottle of water in a month? And I was just, at the end of the month, I was like, wow, like the amount of money I spent on on bottled water doubled the amount of what it would be for a monthly payment for a Kangen machine. And so I was just like, wow, like without a doubt, the Kangen machine, one, is a better purchase because it's a healthier, better water for me.
Right.
Two, it lasts a lifetime. You take care of it, it's like your car, and you take care of it, it's gonna last a long lifetime. And so I was just like, wow. And three, I'm eliminating my plastic consumption and reducing my eco footprint. I was like, this for me aligned with my values of why it was an incredible purchase. And so, I mean, before we get into some other things to help them with their perspective, what made you want to purchase the machine?
Yeah, so just kind of like Eric said, I've always been a super health conscious person. I've always tried to look at what's the best thing I can be doing to put in my body. And like Eric said, and maybe you can relate to this watching, is we were spending money on Essentia. There's a popular 8.8 water at Whole Foods, Sprouts, and spending $2-3 bucks. If you do that every single day, 30 days in a month, basic math, that's $90 bucks. And then you times that by 12 months, and then just over time, you're going to be spending that money. But the thing is, you're not getting the same quality when you're spending that money, because like Eric said, when you're buying bottled alkaline water, number one, it's been on the shelf forever, so it's not really truly alkaline. And then number two, with all the chemicals in the bottles, in the plastic, you're also consuming that as well. So for me, and having Eric, who I was the one who I got my machine from, he broke it down to me that way. I was like, well, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. It's like I should invest in this, and I should take my health seriously. Like if I really wanted to say, hey, I'm serious about my health, I wanted to make that investment, so that's why I did it.
Right, it's that long-term game, right? It's
right.
Just that being able to see into the future a little bit. A lot of us only look for day-to-day or that year of like, oh my gosh, like only if I had $4,000, $5,000 laying around for it, where in a sense, like it's just a transfer of dollars from the bottled water, coffee, all these different things that we're already purchasing on.
Soda.
And soda in particular, oh my goodness. Sparkling water,
right.
All these carbonated waters, and gosh, how bad those are for you and how acidic the carbonation actually is for you.
Right.
But being able to transfer those dollars, and also like booze. People go out all the time and,
right.
and they're putting this acidic stuff in there just so that they can enjoy the time and escape or whatever it is for them. But transferring those dollars, not even all of them, just half of them, into investing in one of these machines because it's going to last you for a lifetime. But some comparisons that I want to get into is that was a perspective change for me was someone shared with me was like, if I had this Kangen medical device, which is commonly put in people's kitchens or bathrooms, and what else other device in things that are found in kitchens or bathrooms, or specifically kitchens, you have Keurig machines,
Right.
Vitamix blenders, juicers, all these different things who are great to have in the kitchen, but are $300, $400,
Right.
where when someone sees that, it's like the perspective, oh, that Kangen machine or that device next to your sink should be $400, $500 too. Where when someone shared, it wasn't until someone shared me this perspective, it was like, this is a medical device, right? And I was like, yeah. Well, if this was truly placed instead of against kitchen equipment appliances, and it was placed against medical appliances, which it truly is, like a dialysis machine, all these different things that keep us alive and are used in hospitals, would that justify the price? And I was like, well, yeah, that's a good point. These machines are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and it would make the Kangen machine seem like the least expensive unit in the room. You know what I mean? And so I was like, a dialysis machine, all these other different machines, as they're important for our life, so is the water that we put in our body. And so that was a big one for me. So maybe that helps for you. Do you want to talk about like the gas pump?
Yeah, so like a couple other different things too. One last point to make about water is, this is a little outdated information. Google didn't really help us here, but an article published in 2012, it showed that Americans, people here in the States, spent about $12 billion on bottled water. So people are making the investment, people are coming around to the idea that our tap water isn't good for us, but a lot of people aren't educated, Eric, on bottled water is just glorified tap water. That's really what it is. So, as Americans, or, if you're watching this outside of America, I can't really speak on the stats there, but, in Western countries, Western civilization, a lot of people are becoming more health conscious. They want to consume better products, but they're not quite putting their dollars there. So think about that. You're already spending money more than likely on bottled water, like we were talking about it, but it's just taking those dollars from bottled water and putting them here toward a Kangen machine. And then also another good thing that I thought about as a comparison is, if you guys drive a car, what do you need to get places? You need gas, right? And sometimes it's a hassle where it's like, you're low on gas and you're like, man, I gotta go stop for gas. Well, think about it this: if somebody were to come to you and be like, hey, I can put a gas pump at your house for $4,000 or $5,000, you would do that, right? Right, because gas is a necessity. You need to put gas in your car to get places, just like our bodies thrive off of water. So with the Kangen machine, like Eric said, you set it up in your house, kitchen, bathroom, wherever it works best, and you have an unlimited supply of ionized, alkaline, antioxidant enriched water at your hands. I mean, obviously, to keep the car reference going with your machine, you're going to have to do some maintenance on it to make sure it keeps working good, but it's right there for you. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to get in your car to burn gas to go get that bottled alkaline water. It's just right there for you.
Right, and I think that's such a pivotal example of like, would you spend $4,000 or $5,000 to have unlimited gas at your own home gas pump, and would you spend $4,000 or $5,000 to have the highest quality medical grade water? I think that's at your home. I think that's such an awesome example for people to relay over in their mind, and for us, like, I think the next best thing for us to talk about is like, why is it worth the investment?
Yeah, it's worth the investment in multiple ways. Number one, we've talked a lot about health in this video, and we're gonna pay for our health regardless. You can either put the money into your health, eating nutrient-rich foods, drinking Kangen water enriched water. You put a lot of money into that, but your body keeps functioning really well. You almost are kind of your own doctor in a sense, and you keep your body healed. or you can treat your body like complete crap, just shove whatever, will go down, and then on the back end you have to pay hospital bills, which, I mean, as you guys probably already know, within a lot of countries, especially here in the States, a lot of people are paying money to go to doctors, to have premium health insurance because they have, terrible health conditions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's being able to put your body, it's just like being your own prognosis doctor and being able to self-diagnose yourself with some things and know that it's really simple, guys. It's being able to put the right things in your body for it to be able to do what it was naturally there to do, and in that long-term vision, like if it's not something long-term, I'm not interested. Someone told me that, and I was just like, man, that can really relate to my physical health, the foods I put in my body, the water I put into my body, and if it's not thinking for the long-term vitality of my life, and it's not, why even do it? And so another thing of why it's for me was big and worth investment, because I'm a big environmental guy, and I host beach cleanups and pick up plastic and all these different things. I always, wherever I am going, I'm picking up plastic off the ground, because it's a fact that 91% of our plastic consumption doesn't even get recycled, and 79% of that is sitting in our landfills.
That's
where
crazy.
it's not even going to break down for the next hundreds and hundreds of years. And so it's wild just being able to know that I'm doing my part and I'm helping the people around me do their part, and then that ripple effect for people to be more conscious to eliminate their plastic bottles and single bottle uses, but also it's awoken me to like straws and all these different things that are like the plastic, instead of just plastic bottles, everything plastic, and just awoke that conscious thing of like, there's going to be more plastic in our ocean per pound than there are going to be fish by 2050. But like hearing that stat was like, holy moly, like we don't need a few people doing it, being sustainable plastic wise perfect. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly and just being conscious of it. And so that was one big thing that this machine was able to provide for me. Now I just carry around a reusable water bottle that I just keep filling up with my Kangen water, and it's been absolutely great. And what else? I mean, what another reason why it's worth the investment is what we get to have as our cleaning supplies, right?
Yeah. So we've talked about this on previous videos. You guys can go check it out on my channel. But yeah, it's multi-purpose. You can use it for cleaning supplies, making your own in-home cleaning supplies, which I guess goes to Eric point. You don't have to go to the store to buy chemical-enriched cleaning supplies, where it's like you're putting toxins in your home for you, your kids, whoever comes over, and then eventually you gotta recycle that plastic, which like Eric was getting at, doesn't really happen. So the machine has a lot of purposes to it, and maybe now you're thinking, okay, what these guys have said really makes a lot of sense, so how do I get my hands on one? Well, there are a couple different options, and Eric, if you want to talk about those options and how people can get this great machine inside their house.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's three simple ways that one is able to simply and affordably purchase these machines, and it's finding which one aligns with you and you're comfortable with. And also that it's not for everyone. If it's not for you and you don't believe it, then that's okay. We're looking for the people that truly want the best health for themselves and are willing to make an investment in themselves. And so the first way for someone to purchase is by cash or debit. And that's for the people that have the money for it and are willing to put all that right away, and not an option that I highly recommend because of the second option, which is in leveraging credit. Leveraging other people's money, leveraging the bank's money. As entrepreneurs and smart individual people that we are, we're taught, and sometimes taught, that credit's bad, but credit is a good thing. For me, when I first purchased my machine, I was like, man, like I'm gonna put things that I know to work, and I'm gonna get myself. I was knowing I was gonna get a credit card, so I applied for a credit card, exceeded the amount of the credit line of how much the machine was going to cost me, and I was able to put that in my machine on there. It's also a great way for people to leverage credit for the future when everyone's going to buy a house at some point. So to start gaining some credit in some different ways, it's a great option, and you get to create the financing with the credit option, which is the awesome part, where you get to put the full amount on a credit card and be able to pay back just the minimum payments or whatever.
Which also too that helps too with building your credit. You put it on a credit card, you consistently make those payments on time, something that I've been doing. That really helps your credit score. Just, a little financial note. That's how
Absolutely.
a good chunk of your credit score is determined. It's like 35% is on time payment. So you consistently pay that on time, like it's really going to help your credit. Like Eric said, in the long run too, when you do decide to buy a home or want to make another purchase, when you have good credit, you're going to get better interest rates and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen my credit score go from a 680 to a 750 solely from right away from purchasing that machine. So that was great to know that now I'm in excellent credit for that. And but yeah, then the third option is another option is that we all know that everything that we purchase, or most things that we purchase, has a financing option. And so it's crazy now, even airlines are starting to do that for big international flights, that you can able to finance a flight, which is crazy. It's making, the cool thing is making travel a little bit more affordable. But the in-house financing is zero interest, 0% or zero credit check, and you're able to get it for just a down payment and you can choose it from a monthly installment anywhere from 3 to 24 months. It's absolutely a great way to purchase a system. And that's the way that you went about and purchased it.
Yeah.
Because it was a line for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was the one where it's like, hey, I got to make this work. This is my best option because I didn't have the cash. I did put the down payment on my credit card, but I didn't have the credit line to fully put that amount on, but it's fine. It's almost paid off at this current moment. But yeah, I mean, that's a great thing too, like Eric said, is you put down a smaller down payment for the in-house, and then you just have the monthly installments. It's anywhere from 3 to 24 months?
Yep, 3 to 24 months.
So, I mean, obviously, if you can pay it off quicker, great. If not, I mean, 24 months, it's not really a long time with how time moves so fast, right. Stuff like that.
And with like to understand a little bit of the numbers, for like the $5,000 unit, the K8, for some numbers is, if you on the 24 months installment side is like $180 a month for the 24 months, and then on the 3 month side it's like $1,200 and like $1,000 down. So, but if you want to know more about the in-house financing, reach out to us. We can give you the calculation and the different numbers of what that is. And some of you may be sitting there thinking like, man, like I may not have the cash right now. I may not have the money. Like I really want this thing, but like I just can't make it happen financially. And the really cool thing about this business is that there are those three options, and one of those will align for you. When there's a will, there's a way, and that you will make it happen. I didn't have the cash for it right away, but I did leverage credit, and I got to work in my business and in my job to be able to pay it off right away in the first 3 months. And it's absolutely incredible. So when you see the valuable information of this, it's really bar none that it's worth the investment. It's the price is only there. It's just because if you saw the amount of money you're going to spend on bottled water in your lifetime, and you were going to pay that all in one time, your eyes would kind of be like deer in headlights. Like, oh my God, I'm going to spend this much money on bottled water in my lifetime. But being able to see, that's why people think this machine is so expensive, because they see their whole drawn out lifetime investment solely in one purchase. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if that's you, and reach out to us, and we can find an option that works best for you, and an option will click for you. And so that's, I don't know if you have anything, that's the best for me, but I don't know if you have anything else, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, like Eric said, I hope this video gave you guys more insight on why we think the price is justified, why it's worth putting in that money, just the comparisons that we did, and then like we ended it with, it's like, it's simple to get. We have options where you can finance it. So like Eric said, reach out to us. We'll definitely help you out in whatever way we possibly can. If you have any other questions, drop it in the comments below. We will let you know. And make sure to subscribe. Get those notifications on so you can get notified the next time a YouTube video drops. Eric will probably be featured more. With that being said, peace.
See you at the next one.